All right, so here's what we have. We have our one-story house, and I guess I'm missing my roof. Don't worry about that. It's not going to matter really right now. Okay, so taking a look underneath here, all right, we have like our main first floor. All right, I'm going to ignore for the time being the front porch. We're not really worried about putting a foundation under that. And then I also want you to disregard like the garage. Okay, so the garage is going to have to be something totally different. Okay, like your garage, if you pull your car into the driveway, you should be able to pull your car into the garage. There's not going to be like any recess or any pit like underneath it. Okay, so that has to be totally separate. But underneath the main section of the house, we're going to have a full basement, and that's really what we have to just kind of consider and think about. Okay, so that's where we're going to build our foundation walls. Aside from that, if you look at the elevations, all right, as of right now, just looking at the elevations, I'm just going to shrink down the text a little bit so it's a little bit easier to read. All right, we have, let's see, we have a first floor level. They give you this foundation level right here, which we're going to kind of ignore for the time being. We have this basement level, and then you have these footing levels. I'm going to get rid of BO footing. We don't really need that one. Let's get rid of that. And we have this TO footing level. We'll get rid of that one too. All right? We're just going to use one level. We use the basement level, and that should be good enough for right now. Okay? So you basically have this little foundation level, which I'm going to actually change it over. It's just going to be like your ground. That's going to be where the ground's going to be. Okay? And then we have our first floor level. That's at 0 feet, 0 inches, and then basement. So that's pretty much your levels. Okay? We may adjust these numbers just a little bit, but for right now, that's pretty good. So first floor, I changed the second one over here to ground. The final one's going to be basement, and that's going to be good for us. Now, we're going to build our foundation walls down here on the basement level. So if we go to that level and look at it, you can't see anything. All right, there's nothing there. I really want to know where my first floor walls are, though. All right, so what tool do you guys have in a view like this where you can see walls drawn on another level? What's that option called? It's in here someplace. I know it's early in the morning on a Monday.
Underlay.
Yeah, it's your underlay. So what level do we really want to see to be able to trace like the first floor walls? You want to see the first floor walls, right? So we'll click on first floor, and as soon as you do that, now you can see your first floor where you can then trace on it. Okay? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go up to my wall tool. I'm going to click on that one time, and if I look through the little drop-down menu, you have a couple different walls that could work for a foundation. All right? Really, you could use these 8-inch masonry block walls. You could use this 10-inch concrete block wall. You could use a 12-inch concrete block wall. It'd be really overbuilt, but you could use it. Okay? I'm just going to go with, just for intensive purposes right now, we'll go with the generic 8-inch masonry block wall. Okay? With that one, when you go to draw it, the computer wants to draw the wall from its center line. All right? So it's originally drawing it from the center. We just talked about up here the fact that we want to have like the outside most face of the wall line up with the outside of the floor. Okay? So when you draw this, you should change this over, all right, so that you're not just drawing the center line of the wall, that you draw with the finished face. And if we go exterior, then when you draw like the wall from the left to the right side, all right, or if you go around clockwise, it's always going to draw the exterior surface of it. All right, so we'll just make sure we're on that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of trace around like where that floor is with masonry concrete block walls, like drawing with the exterior finish face on the outside. All right, and the last thing, like just so that you don't get a bunch of error messages just to start, you probably want to change like how tall the wall is going to go. So if you think about it, you're on basement level. The level up above you is really going to be first floor. So if you change over your option for how tall it's going to be to first floor, that just makes your life easy. All right, and all we're going to do is we're just going to start on the outside most corner of the building and just go ahead and trace right around like where those exterior walls are going to go. All right, over here, like I'd really like this one to be like right on that inside face, and we can go back and clean up that corner if we have to. All right, but this wall should go like right along the inside of the garage. We'll just keep drawing with walls. All right, go right here. I think that one's a little bit off, but you can go back and you can use the align tool if you see something like that, right? So we want like the outside face aligned with the outside face of the wall. Do the same thing right down here, right here, right here, right here, and then we're ignoring the front porch. Okay, check it out in 3D, see what it looks like. You have walls right now, they go from the basement level up to the first floor. Really, like they probably should attach to the floor. They probably should attach to the floor. That's a little bit better practice. There's going to be siding on the outside. I was kind of like shooting to get the walls so that they aligned with the outside of the floor itself. All right. But I'll take what you guys can put together for this right now. Like even if there's a little bit of a gap, I think that would be okay. All right, that's really the way it should look. It should be flush with the outside edge of the floor. Okay. Underneath the house, this is what we have. You have a big gap underneath here. Okay. I'm gonna let you guys go right there. Let's build just 8-inch concrete block walls underneath the exterior walls of the main living area in the house. All right, one more time, ignore the garage. We'll come back and do that later. We're going to come back and put footings on and we'll put the floor slab in.